Once upon a time, the galaxy was ruled by the Iridians, a powerful and technologically advanced alien species. They disappeared centuries ago, but left behind technological remnants, the foundation for humanity's progress. However, their greatest secrets were hidden in a treasure concealed on the planet Pandora. Peace was quickly replaced by corporations, criminals, and treasure hunters, who began fighting each other to reach the treasure first. But no one was able to find it. A prophecy stated that the daughter of Iridia would open the vault and bring peace to the planet. In a space prison, the prisoner, Tiny Tina, hears an explosion before the alarm bell rings. Shouts can be heard outside the cell. Then suddenly a guard opens the door. He removes his helmet, revealing himself as Roland, a former soldier sent by Tina's father Atlas to rescue her. The two run out of the cell, but when the guards arrive, Roland must fight fiercely against them, shooting down the attackers or pushing them away when he can. Tina tries to run away on her own, but Roland quickly grabs her ankle, making her fall. After Roland slams a guard's head into the wall, he continues pulling Tina along, despite her saying she wants to go back to the cell. Suddenly, a glass cell shatters, and Krieg jumps out, knocking them down. He uses his incredible strength to defeat the approaching guards, while Commander Knox of the Crimson Lance Army appears, drawing her gun and aiming at Krieg. However, Krieg tosses her aside by throwing a guard at her. Then, Krieg picks Tina up, revealing that they are friends. Roland says goodbye to his old commander and agrees to work with Krieg to escape. Months later, on the planet Promethea, bounty hunter Lilith captures a new target and stops at a bar for a drink. Suddenly, she is surrounded by a group of thugs, and although she punches one of them, they refuse to leave. The men draw their guns and explain that a wealthy boss hired them to invite her. Lilith doesn't hesitate, shooting down most of them and knocking out the one who was speaking. Everyone panics and runs away, while a man standing behind claps his hands. Atlas, the one who hired the bounty hunter, is the one behind the thugs. Lilith shoots him, only to discover that it's just a dummy using Atlas's hologram mask. The last thug puts on the mask, and Atlas demands that Lilith go to Pandora to find his daughter, Tina. At first, Lilith refuses, but when Atlas promises a huge reward, she changes her mind. Atlas kills her target, forcing her to start the job immediately, and gives her a signal device to activate when she finds Tina. Lilith arrives on Pandora and immediately faces a monster, which she shoots down. She hates this planet, as she grew up here, and her mother died because of its dangers. The group that captured Tina lands on a shuttle, but it has been ravaged by treasure hunters. Lilith worries that Tina might not survive the accident. However, the local children point out where they last saw Tina. As Lilith searches, she constantly encounters psychos, but she simply shoots them down. Lilith boards a bus, but the driver doesn't believe she's a treasure hunter, so he drops her in the middle of nowhere. Lilith searches the surrounding area, while someone is watching her from afar. She spots a wanted poster for Roland, but finds no trace of Tina. By evening, she sets up camp, and hears strange noises, firing into the darkness, only to discover it's a robot named Claptrap. Lilith finds it annoying, continuing to shoot at it until Claptrap reveals it has the ability to track people. Lilith gives it a photo of Tina, and Claptrap quickly finds her, though it took 132 days to reach her. The next morning, Lilith notices the Crimson Lance, Atlas's private army, is also on the planet. They are negotiating with a psycho, a child kidnapper in a cage. After the Lance team leaves, Lilith shoots open the cage and takes down the psycho from a distance. The children escape, and Lilith takes their vehicle, locking Claptrap in the cage. Thanks for the ride. Lilith continues her journey and quickly arrives at a junkyard. She opens a container and discovers a children's room filled with stuffed animals. Tina appears from her hiding spot and reveals that Roland had abandoned her a few days ago. Lilith announces that she will take her home. As she prepares to activate the signal, Tina accidentally drops it and bends down to pick it up. But under the bed are several explosives. Tina demands the stuffed rabbit, but when Lilith picks it up, the toy explodes. Lilith manages to jump out of the container and sees Tina standing on the trucks, starting to throw explosive stuffed animals, forcing Lilith to run and hide under a vehicle. The signal gets damaged during this, so Lilith hands it to Claptrap to fix. Then Lilith points her gun at Tina, causing the girl to call out Krieg's name. Krieg charges out from an old vehicle, chasing after Lilith. She shoots at him but misses, and the two begin a chase around the area. Eventually, Lilith has to fight Krieg hand to hand. She climbs onto a platform, forcing Krieg to chase her and dodging his attack, sending him flying. When Lilith recovers, she discovers Tina pointing a large weapon at her. Lilith tries to explain that she was sent by Tina's father, but Tina responds that she has no father. At that moment, Nox appears in a flying vehicle with her army. Tina throws a stuffed rabbit at Nox, but she throws it away just before flying off. The explosion shakes the pile of trucks, forcing Lilith and Tina to jump across another stack, but they slip to the ground. Lilith pushes Tina away just before both of them are crushed by the debris, and Nox tries to capture them. However, she has to fly off when Roland appears in a truck, narrowly missing Nox's flying vehicle. Krieg, Tina, and Lilith jumped into the car. Roland drove off while Claptrap followed behind. The Crimson Lance soldiers quickly chase after them, so Roland has to pull Claptrap inside and speed up. When the soldiers begin shooting, Roland hands the wheel to Lilith and uses the truck's weapons to fight back, taking out a series of trucks and flying vehicles. Lilith then hands the wheel back to Claptrap and joins the battle. Claptrap causes the truck to crash into a bridge pillar, causing the bridge to collapse, but the enemies manage to drive through anyway. Unfortunately, the Lance soldiers catch up, and a missile hits the truck, forcing Lilith and Roland to get back inside the vehicle. The vehicles surround the truck from all sides, but Roland pushes one out of the way, causing a chain of accidents. He then drives through a barrier, bringing them to Pisswash Gully, a place filled with smoke and monster urine. The Crimson Lance soldiers are too scared to follow them in, but instead, a giant monster attacks. Roland drives as fast as he can to avoid the monster, but the truck gets stuck at the edge of a cliff. The monster reappears and attacks, but fortunately, Roland manages to reverse the truck. At this moment, the Lance soldiers appeared and surrounded them once again, while Nox demanded Tina to surrender. With a plan in mind, Roland accelerated and shot at the monster, creating a large hole in its head, enough for them to jump through and escape. A while later, they have to stop to change the tire, and while waiting, Tina explains to Lilith that Roland didn't kidnap her. He actually saved her. Atlas thinks Tina is the daughter of Aridia and wants to exploit the vault's treasure, but the three of them don't want to open it for him. Roland aims his gun at Lilith because she works for Atlas, but Lilith points out that the Lance soldiers are also after her, so they're on the same side. They allow Lilith to stay and reveal they have one of the Vault 2 keys. Now they just need to find certain scientists to get the other one. The group decides to go to a city, wearing masks to avoid being recognized due to numerous wanted posters. They enter a bar owned by Mad Moxie, who used to know Lilith's mother. Roland is recognized by a soldier named Larry, so he distracts him while Lilith gathers information from Moxie about the location and password for the scientists. Larry initially acts friendly, but quickly reveals he also wants Roland's bounty. Before Larry can attack, Moxie him out cold. Just then, more soldiers arrive, and Moxie tells the group to use the back door. When they reach the elevators, Lilith enters the password, but fails to get it to work. However, the password works when Tina's voice is heard. They enter a large laboratory and meet Dr. Patricia, who immediately recognizes Lilith. It's clear that Lilith doesn't like her and runs into another room to escape the tension. Patricia follows her and tries to talk, but Lilith reminds her that she abandoned her when she was young to hunt for the vault. It turns out Patricia took Lilith in after her mother's death and was supposed to take care of her. Patricia explains that she needed to finish her mother's work, but Lilith gets even angrier and runs to the rooftop. Tina then joins her and shares that she grew up in the lab. Atlas cloned her from a small sample of Iridian blood found in the key, hoping she could open the vault and use alien technology to create superweapons. Tina cries, pointing out that after opening the vault, she would be sent back to the lab. Claptrap wanders outside, and Larry spots him, notifying Nox, who tries to chase him, but Claptrap disappears. Back in the laboratory, Patricia informs the team that the other key is in the mines, in dangerous, toxic caves. At that moment, Claptrap appeared and reported that he had been spotted. Nox was sealing off the city, so the group had to hide in a dumpster and was quickly taken outside. The next morning, they reached the mine and discovered an underground shaft. After pushing Claptrap in to test its safety, they went down and encountered a chemical river from the mining equipment, which could destroy everything except for the natural crystals in the cave. They made Claptrap crawl through a very small tunnel to open the front door. Then, the group tried to cross a fragile bridge, almost causing Tina to fall. Fortunately, they made it across, and Tina was surprised to find a flower. but unfortunately, Claptrap stepped on it. The group continued through the door and went down a tunnel, where they discovered the bloodshot symbol. A psycho gang even other psychos feared. They found the gang in another room and realized there were too many to take down. Claptrap was sent in as bait. The Bloodshots immediately opened fire on him, creating an opportunity for the group to pass through the room without being detected. They went upstairs, and when the gunfire stopped, the Bloodshots celebrated their violent victory. At this moment, Claptrap narrowly escaped the pursuit. Then the whole group continued walking and found a cave full of cargo crates. They thought finding the key would take a lot of time. However, Lilith followed her instincts and went straight to a specific crate, immediately finding the second key inside. As they were about to leave, Claptrap began, ejecting all the bullets he had been shot with. The noise inadvertently revealed the group's position. A Bloodshot charged in, and the group had to fight together to take him down. But soon, all the other psychos came rushing in. Roland and Lilith opened fire, while Krieg fought hand-to-hand. Tina was almost caught, but Krieg quickly saved her, allowing her to stab an enemy. Thanks to their excellent coordination, they took down dozens of psychos. However, they kept flooding in, and the numbers were overwhelming. Lilith knocked over a pile of crates to block their path, and the group quickly climbed the stairs. As the psychos tried to chase them, Roland stood at the top of the stairs, continuing to fire first. Lilith found a flamethrower and used it to incinerate the enemies. Tina threw a grenade at the stairs, destroying the steps and preventing them from being followed. As they fled, the group ran into a dark tunnel, but were ambushed by glowing masked psychos. Tina and Lilith were almost captured, but a few quick shots took down all of them. The tunnel led them into a room full of even more psychos, and a new battle began. The group quickly took down the enemies, and this time Tina also got more involved in the fighting. At this point, Patricia finally found the hallway leading to the elevator, and the group rushed to it. However, they had to block the path behind them. Unfortunately, the elevator was broken, so Patricia had to team up with Claptrap to fix it. The psychos had now reached the hallway, and Roland and Krieg had to step outside to fight. But more psychos appeared from another hallway, and Lilith quickly ran to close the gate and shoot some enemies, though she lost her gun in the process. The psychos grabbed her and tried to stab her, but luckily Tina arrived just in time, took the gun back, and saved Lilith. Since the psychos continued to attack, the gate wouldn't hold for long. Roland ordered Krieg to fall back and shoot the pipe, causing chemical waste to spill out and pour over the enemies. The group rushed into the elevator, only to find an issue with the wiring. Roland went outside to make repairs, forcing them to leave without him. Tina threw Roland a stuffed rabbit as the elevator started moving up, and Roland threw it into the group of psychos, charging at him. The elevator suddenly went through the floor, causing the group to think they were about to fall. However, they were all unexpectedly teleported back to the ground. Lilith vomited, while Tina considered it a possibility she didn't know about herself. That night, the group set up camp, and Patricia combined the keys, revealing a map that showed the location of the vault. The map also had the symbol of Firehawk, the Iridian goddess and protector of the planet. Patricia explained to Lilith that opening the vault could kill Tina. Down in the mine, all the psychos had died from the rabbit bomb, and Roland had saved himself by hiding under their corpses. A while later, Claptrap returned the repaired beacon to Lilith. Lilith immediately destroyed it, but only caused a drone to appear, carrying an illusionary image of Atlas. He announced that the Lance troops were on their way to their location, and if Lilith didn't hand over Tina, Atlas would kill the entire group. He promised to pay as agreed. Tina heard the last part and thought that Lilith would betray her, so she threw a bomb at Lilith, knocking her out. When Lilith woke up, everyone was gone, leaving only Claptrap behind. Claptrap explained that the group had gone to an abandoned village nearby. Lilith followed and realized this was the place she had grown up, remembering the day the village was attacked by psychos. Lilith's mother had put her on an evacuation ship and handed her over to Patricia, but she had stayed behind to fight. Lilith found her old house and even a childhood photo, which included an old drawing of her depicting a woman with wings. When Claptrap scanned the drawing, it triggered a message from Lilith's mother. The woman apologized for sending Lilith away, explaining that she had no choice because Lilith would never be safe on Pandora. She wanted Claptrap to help Lilith understand her destiny and told her that she loved her before the video ended. Realizing her destiny, Lilith rushed to find Tina. At the same time, Tina, Krieg, and Patricia arrived at another mine to find the vault. Krieg noticed a light coming from the ground and broke apart the rubble to reveal an entrance. Patricia warned Tina that she might die, but Tina didn't believe her and inserted the key, then positioned herself in the required spot. After a long wait, nothing happened at that moment. An illusionary image covering the area disappeared, and Atlas appeared with the Crimson Lances and the psycho thugs he had hired. He ordered Nox to kill Tina and harvest her parts for cloning purposes. Roland charged in and opened fire, but Atlas shielded himself with an energy shield. Atlas ordered Nox to eliminate the group, and at last she saw his true face. She ordered her subordinates to lower their weapons and tried to tell Roland that he was right. But just then, Atlas's aircraft fired a laser, killing her instantly. Suddenly, Lilith appeared on top of the mine and teleported to the group, revealing that she was the true daughter of Iridia. This was why she had always drawn Firehawk and found the key in the crate so easily. Atlas promised to let everyone go if Lilith opened the vault. Lilith prepared herself, still ignoring Patricia. She explained that she knew her mother had entrusted Lilith to Patricia so that she would never have to open the vault. When Lilith held the key, a green light appeared on her arm. She placed the key down and stood in the proper position, causing the green light to lift the rocks and form a portal. Lilith soared into the air, and the power of the portal enveloped her, burning her clothes to create wings. This transformed Lilith into Firehawk. Using her newfound power, Lilith shot energy at Atlas, knocking him back and almost sending him into a hole. But he managed to regain his balance. A giant psycho threw Tina into another hole in retaliation, but Lilith fired energy, bringing Tina back to the ground. Tina threw several bombs, forcing the enemies to open fire, but Lilith's power protected her. A new battle began, and Lilith also shielded her teammates with her strength. Claptrap joined the fight, throwing 2 enemies into the hole. Atlas activated a laser beam and shot Lilith, continuously attacking her every time she tried to recover. Lilith fired back, but Atlas was protected by his energy shield. Finally, when Lilith regained her wings, she flew up and tried to destroy the aircraft, only to discover that it too was protected by a shield. The impact caused Lilith to lose consciousness and fall to the ground, causing the magical protection over her teammates to vanish. As Krieg was overwhelmed by the giant psycho, Patricia rushed to Lilith and woke her up. Atlas fired another laser beam at Lilith, but this time she managed to raise an energy shield to protect herself. At the same time, Roland was fighting with the other soldiers. In the end, Krieg defeated the giant psycho, though it took a great deal of effort. Lilith reflected the laser beam off her shield and sent it back at the aircraft, causing it to explode and crash down. Everyone ran to avoid being crushed, but some enemies were still wiped out in the explosion. Lilith emerged from the dust with glowing wings, only to discover that Atlas had captured Tina. Without hesitation, Lilith opened the vault and stepped in with Tina. At first the vault was dark, but soon green light began to illuminate the space. Atlas admired Lilith's incredible power, but Lilith teleported behind him and took control of his shield device. Tina seized the opportunity to defeat Atlas before turning back to Lilith. Lilith said her goodbyes before vanishing with Tina. Atlas was left behind in the vault, where a giant creature appeared, using his tentacles to capture him and drag him down a tunnel. Sometime later, the group returned to the city to join the celebration. The sky was filled with fireworks, and Tina persuaded Lilith to join in the fun. Lilith manifested her wings and soared into the air, creating a Firehawk image in the sky. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to catch the next videos. You can search for the movie Borderlands to watch the full episode. Thank you for watching.